The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both the TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. Just when Robert thought he was going to get the lead after tying up the series, going on that 4-win streak, we go back-to-back to retake the lead. Feels good, but, you know, every episode is obviously a new challenge, and this one is definitely one in particular. So this is Soul of the Duelist. Now, this is a very interesting set historically for Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the issues is that there's only 60 cards in the entire set, and the reason for that is that this is the first set where the OCG, the TCG, the Asian English, and Korean releases all merged into one. And so historically, the OCG's product has had less cards, but now that we are all merged, we decided to follow suit. And so now we go from, 80, 90, 100 card sets down to 60. The good side is that we're most likely going to get every single common in the set because mathematically that's how it should work out. The bad side is that, depending on the types of holos or rares that we get, that may dictate how some of these episodes are going to go. That's why some of the GX sets and the sets leading up to those sets are actually notoriously known for being a bit slower throughout Yu-Gi-Oh's history because we weren't getting as many cards as we were before. And while there are some very impactful cards in here, there may only be like 1 or 2 per set, competitively speaking, that actually truly mattered.
I don't know what to make of last episode. Could I have set that my body is a shield so I could protect Pyramid Turtle? Yeah. Should I have? Absolutely. That would have gotten me to Ryukoki, and I think that would have been a very different game. But on the other hand, I was up against 3 Sakuretsu Armor, at least 1 Spirit Reaper, at least 1 Night Assailant, at least 1 Book of Moon, and a variety of other cards that were just vastly better than the pulls I got. The chances that I was going to win last episode were just so unimaginably small. But that it doesn't mean that we shouldn't look back at what we could have done better, and I do think I could have better calculated the risk versus reward in that situation. I thought that it was better for me to guarantee that I had some way of resolving my Ordeal of a Traveler. I thought that card, it was important for me to be able to resolve that card, and I just did not get the chance, and instead I lost out on the opportunity to get one of my better monsters. So I want to calculate risk versus reward better this episode and think a little bit more about what actually wins me the game. That's something that I've been having trouble with since episode 1. It's something that I had trouble with in that game 2 of Invasion of Chaos, where I think I would probably ultimately in better shape if I had used the Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect, but I think I can do better, and hopefully we'll curb Alex's win streak this episode. We're not going to be working with the best set to do so. Soul of the Duelist is, on the one hand, going to be much easier to deck build with. We are out of the era of 120 card sets and into the era of 60 card sets, which means our pulls are going to be more consistent, but also there are not very many good cards in this set. There are a couple of really sweet lines of monsters, but other than that, the playability of cards in this episode is highly suspect. Let's see if we can get into some of those cooler holos and rares when we open Soul of the Duelist. Now, while this is loading, I do want to say I can't say I'm not excited to open Soul of the Duelist. This was one of the first packs that I got to buy regularly because when it came out, my dad was living in town, and so I got to go to the Target near his house fairly often. I picked up Soul of the Duelist a few times. I think I got an ultimate rare out of that, but I didn't know what I was dealing with back then because I was all of about 10 years old, and so I probably lost it, and that's too bad. But I do fondly remember opening Soul of the Duelist and thinking the Horus monsters were really, really sick. Let's see if we can get something that sick this episode.
24 packs. Let's go ahead and see what we get, because there are some interesting things to talk about, but unfortunately, there's also a lot of bad cards in here as well. This pack, however, is a very good start. We have a Mystic Swordsman level 2. This is essentially Sasuke Samurai, but actually has 900 attack, so it can hit through any of Robert's set monsters, which is pretty strong. We also got a Penumbral Soldier Lady, and the reason why this is good is because it's actually a tribute monster that can hit over 2k defenders. For how relevant that is, there's actually 2100 point defenders in here, but it's not bad. Masked Dragon's also probably one of the best monsters we have access to, because if it's destroyed by battle and sent to grave, we can actually just get another copy or another dragon, which there are a few of in this set. So happy to see this early, but again, we should get play sets of all the commons, statistically speaking. So the biggest problem with Soul of the Duelist is not the fact that there's 60 cards, but the fact that of those 60 cards, a lot of them are just nearly unplayable. Like, take a look at like Ritual Weapon. This card has to specifically be equipped to a ritual monster. There's also Fusion Weapon in this set as well, which does the exact same thing. Problem is there's no rituals or fusions that we're going to be summoning, so immediately that's 2 cards out of the set we can't even play. And so there's a lot of cards like that in Soul of the Duelist. Hammer Shot, however, is a prime piece of removal, so we will take it. Ultimate Baseball Kid is actually pretty funny because there are a decent amount of fires in this set, and Masked Dragon, I think, is also a fire, so you can actually make this card have a very high attack value, and this could hit over a lot of things potentially. Oh, wow, this is a very, very good pack. So aside from the fact we have stuff like Heavy Slump, Fusion Weapon, Sen, which all these cards are pointless, we got not only 1, but 2 copies of Dark Mimic level 3, and this card, if it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you draw a card, so this is essentially just like a cantrip. But we also have Dark Mimic level 1, which is a flip effect, draw 1 card. So we basically have 3 cards that can help us just draw through our deck to get to our good cards a lot quicker. We got another Masked Dragon, and here's the first of the Element cards. So the Element cards actually gain synergies based on the other types of attributes you have on your field. So in the instance of Soldier, if you have a water, control this card cannot switch, and if you have an earth, negate the effect of an effect monster that this card destroyed by battle. So there are some that are better than others, but there are some cool things you can do in this set with these. And speaking of which, right on time, there is Element Dragon. This card is exceptionally good because it has a similar sort of effect, but if you control a fire monster, this card gains 500 attack, and if you have a wind, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, it can attack once again in a row. So this can get to 2000 attack, and with the fire monsters being above average, this is actually pretty nice. Speaking of which, we also pulled a Charcoal Impachi, which is just a 2100 point defender, and honestly, that's good enough by this series standards to play. It also synergizes with the Element Dragon and the Ultimate Baseball Kid, so there may be a strategy here. So this is kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to Soul of the Duelist. You look at a pack like this, and I would say almost every card in here is unplayable. I think the closest playable card we've got is probably Hade Hane, which is a tribute version of Hane Hane, which on flip, you can return up to 3 monsters on the field to the owner's hand, which, don't get me wrong, that's actually kind of crazy to be able to set Robert back like that. But again, when we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for cards like this, you know it's not necessarily the best set. So here's an Armed Dragon level 3. If we can get copies of 5 and 7, we can actually play this, because this would be a very interesting set of cards to have access to. Armed Dragon level 5 is actually just removal, and it's a 2400 attacker, or 23, I forget, but by sealed Showdown standards, it's actually just crazy. It also is wind, so that does synergize with Element Dragon as well. So I would really like to see as many copies of this as possible. Okay, another Charcoal Impachi, another Ultimate Baseball Kid, and another Armed Dragon level 3. Now we do still need the 5s and 7s, and I think those are a little bit higher rarity. Level 5 might be a rare at least, and that level 7 I know for a fact is an ultra, so that's going to be asking for a lot, but it's doable. So here are some interesting cards. So Nobleman Eater Bug is actually just like Hade Hane, except instead of flipping it to destroy 1 monster, you destroy 2, but it is a tribute monster, so it does have a downside. But being able to pop 2 monsters is actually not terrible. And then we have Ecto Plasma. This card may actually be playable given the circumstances of the set. Once per turn during each player's end phase, the turn player must tribute a face-up monster, and if they do, inflict damage to their opponent equal to half the original attack of the tributed monster. There's a card in this set called Malistal of Demise, which I actually have a few copies of already, that if it's sent to the graveyard by a continuous spell, it actually gets special summoned, so you can just loop that over and over again and burn your opponent to death. So that could be a strategy thanks to the fact we actually pulled the Ectoplasm.
Starting off, we have Spirit Barrier. This has a pretty cool interaction with Absolute End. Spirit Barrier allows you to take no battle damage while you have monsters on the field. Absolute End forces your opponent to attack directly. So in combination with these, you have 2 halves that make one whole Thunder of Ruler, which is not excellent, but it's better than the other things we're going to be getting this episode. Noble Maneater Bug is also a 1 tribute for 2 destructions, which with Mystic Swordsman level 2 in the set may not be a good idea to try, but it is there. Pack number 2. Charcoal Inpachi is a 2100 defender. It's got the same problem as the 1 tribute flip effect monsters we have here, which is that Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke is in this episode, and that card destroys defenders like nobody's business, and so it's probably not going to be terribly useful. Element Dragon, on the other hand, is a fairly good card. It is a 1500 attack, which means you can float into it with Mass Dragon, and Mass Dragon is also a fire monster, which means your Element Dragon can get up to 2000 attack. The armed dragon monsters are also wind monsters, which means it can potentially attack twice. It's a pretty good card, and I'm pretty sure this card is going to be the meta. Hallowed Life Barriers in here. This card is okay. It's gonna protect life points sometimes. Mind on Air. Okay, so this card is actually pretty interesting. It seems really bad at first. It's just a 1 tribute for a 1600 defender to reveal your opponent's hand. However, if you get this in combination with Mind Crush, I think you can do a lot of damage to your opponent's hand. As far as it basically gives you the option to get like confiscation every time you get your Mind Crush, which is pretty sick. Taunt is also an interesting card. It is basically protection for your weakest monsters as long as you have a monster big enough that your opponent can't attack over it. A Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, not going to complain about that. That card's very good. It's an 1800 attacker, which is the second biggest normal summonable monster next to an Element Dragon with a fire monster on the field. A Dark Mimic level 3 is pretty cool. It's like bad Dekuichi if it goes to the graveyard because it was destroyed by battle. You can draw a card. Pretty cool. Pack number 6, there's an Armed Dragon level 5. Glad to see it. That's one of the most important cards in this set. Ooh, an Armed Dragon level 7 alongside another Armed Dragon level 5. I am very glad to see that card. It is so sick. It's not a Dark Armed Dragon, unfortunately, but it's a real beefy monster. The only monster in this set that really rivals Armed Dragon level 7 is Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, which would be awesome to see. I'd be so hyped to see that card this episode, but Armed Dragon level 7 is going to be a lot easier for us to get the parts for because we already have an Armed Dragon level 5, which is a beefy boy and has the ability to destroy monsters on the field, and if it destroys a monster by battle, you can grab your Armed Dragon level 7. The other cool thing about this combo is I have level up that I got from a couple of packs ago, which means I can go directly from level 5 into level 7 and potentially destroy 2 monsters that turn. Very, very cool. Glad to see this, and this is probably better than Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 because you don't need a rare and a super in order to be able to summon it. Also got another Mass Dragon. Glad to see that. Muko, I believe this was called Null and Void before. It's not a good card. It doesn't matter. It can like potentially, I don't even know if you can activate this during the damage step, so I don't even know if it's good against Dark Mimic. But there is another Mass Dragon, and that's great. Enraged Mukamuka is also pretty cool. It's like Mukamuka, but it's bigger. So it may be worthwhile just because it's a beefy monster and there are not very many good cards in the set, which means there's going to be a good chance that there are a lot of cards in my hand to beef him up.
I think that completes our playset of Armed Dragon level 3, and there is a Penumbral Soldier Lady the second. I would like to see some better super rares in this slot, but honestly, you know, we gotta take what we can get. Another Dark Mimic's actually pretty good. Taunt is an interesting sort of battle trick that forces your opponent to actually attack a given monster, but it's not a continuous trap, so unfortunately, it's only gonna be good for 1 turn. Enraged Mukamuka is the upgraded Mukamuka and gains 400 attack and defense for each card in your hand, so just having 2 cards makes this 2000, so honestly, this may be better than Penumbral Soldier Lady. And then Mind Crush actually debuted in this set. I don't know how good this is going to be. There are some cards that allow us to see Robert's hand, but again, the way the format shapes up, I mean, Mind Crush is a very good card by competitive standards, but I'm not sure if it's good enough for Sealed Showdown. Oh, okay. There is a Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 4. I loved Horus as a kid. I thought this archetype was so sick, and once you get to level 6 and level 8, it gets crazy. We do still need the bigger monsters, but at least we have a start. Now, this is an interesting rare. Spirit Barrier makes it so that while you control a monster, you take no battle damage. And I think spell and trap removal is very few and far between in this set. So this is like just the playground staple of all playground staples. I remember kids always had this out because they thought it was crazy. And to be fair, if you're playing playground Yu-Gi-Oh, this card is pretty nuts.
Next pack. Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6. That's pretty sick. I was laughing at Master of Oz, but this card is pretty sick. If I can get a level 4, this card is solid because it's immune to spell cards. And there's one very, very good spell card in this set that I'm hoping we'll be able to dodge with this guy. Another Another Absolute End and a Mind Crush is also pretty good to see. I have some good combos to go with those. An Ectoplasm. This card is kind of cool because it makes both players tribute a monster during their end phase to deal damage to the opponent. If I can do something like summon an Armed Dragon level 7, get a bunch of damage into the opponent, and then activate Ectoplasma, I can probably just win the game right off of that. That might be a really cool combo to see. The chances that I see it, probably not very good, and ultimately it's going to be a brick if I'm not in a good situation in the game, but you know. All right, so I've seen Armed Dragon level 5, I've seen Armed Dragon level 7. I'm not sure if I've seen any Armed Dragon level 3s yet. Hopefully we're going to get a couple of those. This set is dinky. I think the chances that I don't are pretty low, but you never know. This is sealed Showdown. Things happen. Another Mind on Air, that's not excellent to see. There are a lot of good rares in this set, and this is not one of those. I got an ultimate rare Spirit Barrier. I didn't know that was a thing. Pretty sick to see that. Halfway through, I'm on pack number 12. I've gotten some pretty good pulls so far. My holo luck has been pretty solid, and there are some other holos that would be really sick to see, but I think really right now what I'm going to need is some good rares for the rest of the set. Some Armed Dragon level 5s, a couple of Hammer Shots, a couple of Mystic Swordsman level 2, and maybe something like a Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 4. Enervating Mist is not. Whoa, Mobius! I was like looking at that rare card, and the holo was way better. Mobius is one of the best cards in early Yu-Gi-Oh! There are a lot of really bad spell or trap cards in this set, but some of them are actually playable enough that Mobius might be worthwhile. One way or another, this is a sick pickup. Pack number 14, there's one of the good ones. Mystic Swordsman level 2. Like Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke destroys face-up defense monsters, Mystic Swordsman level 2 destroys face-down defense position monsters, which is going to be incredibly important this episode. Armed Dragon level 3 is also here, which is really cool with Mass Dragon. And, necessary for Armed Dragon level 7. Another Armed Dragon level 5. Love to see it. This card, having it in 2 is going to be really good. It's not only summonable off of your level 3, but it's also summonable off of just a tribute summon. So if I can get one more of these, I'm going to be really, really happy. And then a couple of Mystic Swordsmen and a couple of, or even just one more Ninja Grandmaster. So one more Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, one more Mystic Swordsman level 2. I'll be really, really happy with my pulls here. And maybe some Hammer Shots. Hammer Shot is a really important card this set. Flip packs. Oh, Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8. Oh, it's here. It's an ultimate rare too. Oh, this card is so cool. Oh, can I summon this card? I don't have level 4. I don't know if you can tribute summon level 6. That's gonna be a thinker. Oh, this card is sick. And it's immune to Hammer Shot. Basically, the only thing this set that can take out Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 is going to be one of the tribute set monsters. Oh, that's a sick rip.
Oh, there it is. The Armed Dragon level 5. Honestly, just because we pulled one of this, I think we will play it because this card is a house. Send a monster from your hand to the grave, target a monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it, and destroy it. It's 2400 attack on a tribute summonable body. You can also just tribute this out. You don't have to level Armed Dragon level 3 into it, but man, this card is good. We are 100% playing this. Absolute End is fascinating because activate during only your opponent's turn. This turn, the attacks from your opponent's monsters become direct attacks. So this does protect your monsters from getting destroyed, possibly setting up for a tribute summon, but at the cost of possibly taking a ton of damage. But using your life points as a resource, it only matters when they hit 0. Oh, wow. Talk about a pack. Not only did we get a Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, we got an ultra rare Mystic Swordsman level 4. And I'll be honest, I wish this was an Armed Dragon level 7, but Mystic Swordsman level 4 is also crazy. First up, Sasuke. It can attack face-up defense position monsters and immediately destroy them. Similar to Sasuke Samurai, except instead of sets, they have to be face-up. But Mystic Swordsman level 4 is just crazy. It's 1900. We can level up into it, or we could just actually set it face down because it can't be normal summoned. We can flip it up, 1900 attack. This card can just dominate the board. Happy to see it.
Another Armed Dragon level 5, I'm not sad to see that. Enervating Mist is not great. I think I have my 3 Mass Dragon now. Level up is really cool. If I can get into level 6, I can immediately rank up into Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, which is really, really good. Next pack. Oh, another Mobius? What is this holo luck? I just need some good rares. I don't need all these ridiculous holos. An ultimate Mobius and an ultimate Horus. My brain can't even process what's happening. This is so cool. If I as a kid had pulled this box, I would have actually lost my mind. There is a possibility that that, I would have just literally died and gone to heaven right then and there. What a cool box this has been. All right, next pack. The only thing that can make this set better is if I can get a couple of hammer shots, another Mystic Swordsman, and another Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. Mystic Swordsman. There it is. Oh, it's coming together. Pack number 21. A hammer shot. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. If I can get one or two more hammer shots, if I can get one more Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, I will be happy. Can we get it? Oh, another rare wasted on OJ. Is that how many hollows have I gotten this set? This has been amazing. An Ectoplasm. Oh, I'm so excited for whatever the heck I'm going to do with this set. There's another Arm Dragon level 3. I'm glad to see that. I was a little bit worrying that I hadn't gotten my 3 yet. 2 more packs. Let's get one more hammer shot, one more Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. Can you do it for me, Soul of the Duelist? My hollow luck has been so good. Flip the Master of Oz. And another hollow! What is going on here? What a weird and wild set, folks. What can I get on the close? Last pack, a Dark Mimic level 3. I won't complain about that. What a set. Okay, there's one thing before I move on to the deck edit that I really need to check here. Can I get into Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6 without having level 4? Yes, I can. I can tribute summon this monster. Oh my god, this is so good. Wow, I could not have asked for better pulls than I got this episode. A lot of my really good stuff is high-level monsters, which is a little bit concerning, but honestly, this is about the most exciting Soul of the Duelist could have possibly been. I actually can't wait to get into deck building because there's so many iconic cards that I got, and oh, this is gonna be so hype. I mean, also, Alex is screwed unless he got 3 hammer shots, so like, there's that.
Oh my god, we got a second one. We got a second Mystic Swordsman level 4. Now, if Robert's playing very defensively, this card's going to be fantastic. If we're playing from behind, maybe not as good, but wow, what a great pull. What? 3 copies of Mystic Swordsman level 4. I like the irony of the whole thing is I only have 1 copy of Mystic Swordsman level 2, but honestly, I think I play every copy of this that I have because this card is just crazy. It's just mentally strong. Wow. I mean, again, I kind of wish I was getting some different ultra rares here, but this is one of the better ones to be getting for sure. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain. And so only a few packs left, ladies and gentlemen. This has just been a very strange opening, to say the least. Let's go ahead and flip them up, see if we get anything else good. Another Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. I'm very happy to see that. Let's go on to our second to last pack here. Yes, a second Armed Dragon level 5. We are so going in on that strategy. Also, I believe Masked Dragon might be able to summon these monsters as well. So I have to look out for that. And flipping up in the close, we did get another Masked Dragon. I think we already had like several of those. Anything else here? I think we already have play sets of all these cards, so nothing else too great, but I definitely think we have some playable cards to work with. I was very worried that it wasn't going to work out as planned. It looks like I have a little Armed Dragon strategy going on here. I think it would be awesome if Robert pulled like a Horus set for his pulls, because then we have like Armed Dragon versus Horus going on. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but it's possible. If I pulled 3 Mystic Swords in level 4, then maybe he can pull 3 Horus level 6 and 8. I mean, we'll see what happens, but let's get to deck building.
Okay, this one I'm actually pretty excited about. Before I get to that, I do want to address something that I missed while I was doing my pack opening. I unfortunately didn't get to a doodle this week because I've had a crazy week. It's been a wild time at work. There's been a lot going on, so I haven't gotten the chance to do any drawing. I apologize for that. But if you head on over to my Twitter, which I'm going to bring up on the screen because YouTube won't let me link it in the comments, you can follow this handle to find a bonus doodle that I am going to do when this goes up. So look out for that, and also, you know, check out my Twitter for doodles and funnies. Enough shameless plugs, let's get to the deck. I am actually pretty giddy excited about this one. Now, I do need to temper my expectations. While my shiny luck was unbelievable, as per usual, my common and rare luck was pretty terrible. If Alex gets one of any number of things, I am in trouble. For example, if Alex gets 3 hammer shot, or 3 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, or a line to Horus that starts with Horus level 4, I am, in the spirit of Halloween, boned. However, I've got a lot of fun stuff to work with, and it all focuses around summoning some pretty exciting boss monsters here. We start off with Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 8, and Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 7. I'm really excited to potentially summon these monsters because they rarely get to be shown off in pretty much anything, but I have lines into both of them today, and so I'm hoping that we get to summon them. I am effectively running a Monarch deck, and my primary Monarch is actually actually not incredibly good, but I can turbo into it very quickly, and that's Armed Dragon level 5. Armed Dragon level 5 is a pretty good card. However, in order to blow up anything meaningful, you have to discard a fairly large monster from your hand. That is why it turns out that level 7 and level 8 are not actually total bricks if I don't draw a line into them, and that is because I can discard them to destroy pretty much anything in the format. I also have my 3 Armed Dragon level 3s. I considered running 2 of this because it is a little bit of a brick, but I am running the 3 level up. This card is probably not good, but I am hoping that I get to use it to tempo into some really strong monsters early in the game, and who doesn't want to see a level up into a Horus level 8? I rest my case. Let's get into the actual other monarchs. We've got the real monarch in my deck, Mobius the Frost Monarch. I have 1 in my deck because there are some back row cards that are going to be annoying, most of which are continuous, and so just having 1 available is going to be good, and I have the other in the side deck. Overall, the back row in this set is not great, but being able to bait out something like an Absolute End or a Taunt off of Mobius may actually be worth its while. Next, we have 2 of Enraged Mukamuka, probably the best monarch in this format. If you can open with this card or get it at a time when you have a large enough number of cards in your hand, this guy is a house. It only takes 4 cards to get him to 2800, which contests Armed level 7, or 5 cards to get him up to 3200, which beats level 8. There are only 3-ish things that beat this card in this format. Number 1 is Hammer Shot, number 2 is Noble Maneater Bug, and number 3 is another Enraged Mukamuka. And so I am running this card partially because it's a fairly good card to just summon into, and also partially so that I have the other out to Alex's Enraged Mukamuka, since I know that Alex has a proclivity for Unga Bunga gameplay. He is a connoisseur of caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I expect he's going to be running some beefy monsters if he can get his hands on those. Let's move into some of the other interesting things we have available here. We have 3 Malistal of Demise. This guy is the biggest beatstick in the set next to Sasuke Samurai, of which I have only gotten 1. Oh well. But he has a really cool interaction with exactly Ecto Plasma, which is a continuous spell card that allows you to basically turn him into the world's worst strike ninja. If you sacrifice him off of Ectoplasm, he comes back during the next standby phase. During your next standby phase. Actually, way more important. So, if you can get the drop on your opponent with this card, if you can establish a little bit of tempo control over the game, if you can drop into Malice of Demise, Ectoplasm, your opponent's probably going to be tributing off valuable monsters while your monster keeps coming back. That's going to be a fairly good play, especially if I started off with something like a set monster plus Ectoplasm. There's a good chance that Alex is going to basically set a monster in the face of Ectoplasm and my set monster, in which case I can summon the Malistal of Demise, run into Alex's set monster. A Malistal of Demise goes to the graveyard, I deal some damage to Alex, and then during Alex's next turn, he has no choice but to summon another monster, or he's going to lose out tempo massively. That monster is then going to be put in danger of getting Ectoplasmed or hit by another monarch. We have 1 Element Dragon. This card is pretty good in combination with the Armed Dragons and the Masked Dragons. I don't want to see more than 1 of it, and more so I want to see it off of Masked Dragon. Speaking of Masked Dragon, I've got 3 of that card. Gets me into Armed Dragon level 3 and also Element Dragon. Next we have 3 Howling Insect. I really just need to make sure I have monsters on the field, and Howling Insect is a monster that if you put it in attack position doesn't lose out to either of these guys. Mystic Swordsman level 2 and Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke both destroy defense position monsters. Level 2 attacks into face down monsters, and Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke destroys face up monsters. They are generally the punish for my last 3 cards, which are just 3 2000 defenders. I'm not playing a lot of these for exactly this reason, and also the reason that I only got 3 of them. If Alex gets into something like these plus Dark Factory of Mass Production, he's going to have a lot of card advantage to work with, but ultimately I'm thinking these cards are going to tempo defense position monsters out of the game. I intend to normal summon my floaters so that this interaction does not come up. It also might bait Alex into using hammer shots. Once again, we have the 2 Ectoplasma. This card, aside from the really cool lock with Malistal of Demise, is also just a game end. If I can hit into Alex with Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 or something like Armed Dragon level 7, then I am going to end up at the end of the turn with Ectoplasm having dealt more than half of Alex's total life points in damage, which is pretty sick. There are some cool interactions with Ectoplasm. There's a possibility that they don't work out in my favor. If I anticipate that that's going to be a problem in games 2 and 3, I can side out of it. We have the 1 Hammer Shot. We have 3 Level Up. Once again, I considered running 2 of it, but I want to turbo into my big monsters, so I'm just going to run this because, you know, memes. 2 Absolute End is a surprisingly good card that allows you to dodge out of attacking monsters. So if Alex summons something like a Mystic Swordsman level 2 to run into my defense position monster, then I can make it attack directly instead. It also can defend an Armed Dragon level 3 if I have to normal summon it, which is nice. Spirit Barrier is kind of an annoying card and helps with my strategy of normal summoning my floaters so that they don't interact with these cards. It means that I don't take a huge amount of damage. There's a good chance I'm going to side these out, but I do want to try them out in game 1. And then finally, we have 2 Taunt, which is a great card when you're ahead on board state, but is not as good when you're behind. In my side deck, I just run a bunch of random stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. The 1 Mobius, just in case Alex is on a back row strategy I don't anticipate. 2 Noble Man-Eater Bug for the above reason. 2 Mind on Air and 3 Mind Crush. This combination basically becomes confiscation. The problem is Mind on Air is a wuss-ass card. It can be destroyed by pretty much everything that we have in our deck. It does at least allow me to show Alex's hand once, which may be enough to get some sick hits off of Mind Crush. There's a possibility that I just bring Mind Crush in as well. 1 more Spirit Barrier in case the combo becomes more relevant than I anticipated, and 1 more Taunt for the same reason. Hallowed Life Barrier protects me from really big damage, so I might bring it in if I'm seeing Alex running a really fast-paced strategy, but this card is a -2 to just not die that turn, which is a position I hope to never get in. Finally, we have 3 Dark Mimic level 1 and 1 Dark Mimic level 3. If I see that Alex is not attacking a lot, I'm going to be setting Dark Mimic level 1 so that maybe he doesn't attack, and then I get to flip it, draw a card, and then go into a Monarch. Alternatively, I can flip it, I can protect it with something like Absolute End, and then I can get the summon into Dark Mimic level 3, which can get me even more draws. This combo is risky and probably not good unless I know how Alex is playing, which is why it's in the side deck and not the main deck. Mostly, let's be clear, I have goals to win this, I have points of growth, but honestly, all I want to do is summon my big dragons. Let's get into the duels.
You know, I gotta be honest, going into Soul of the Duelist, I was a bit apprehensive, and we haven't actually played the game out yet, so maybe it's not going to be as fun as I think, but looking at this deck, there is some interesting little strategies we could come up with here, depending on the polls, of course, we'll have to see, but this is the deck we are bringing to today's duel. I think this is going to be a ton of fun. Maybe it's because I pulled a bit better than average, but we'll have to see. Robert's polls could have just been off the charts nuts, so we'll go ahead and do the card by card. So first up, 3 Armed Dragon level 3. During your standby phase, you can send it to the grave. Special summon an Armed Dragon level 5 from your hand or deck. The fact that you can summon from deck is crazy because getting this out, this is like our primary win condition. This is removal. It's a 2400 body. This card is basically the heart and soul of our deck, and as long as we can get to it, we should be in good shape. That's why we're also playing 3 Dark Mimic level 1 and 2 Dark Mimic level 3. These effectively just say draw 1 card. Dark Mimic level 3 may actually be able to be draw 2, which turns it into Pot of Greed, which is crazy. We'll have to see. I think it's idealistic, but it's possible. It's definitely very possible. We also have 3 Element Dragon, which get boosted by either having any of our Armed Dragons out or any of the Masked Dragons or the Charcoal Inpachis, giving either 500 attack if it's a fire or the ability to attack again if it's a wind, which can actually pump out a lot of damage very quickly. 3 Masked Dragon to be able to get us to either Element Dragon or our Armed Dragon level 3. Best case scenario, Robert hits into this on turn 1. We get Armed Dragon level 3, he can't clear it, then our turn comes around, we summon the bad boy out, and we are off to the races. We're also playing 1 copy of Mystic Swordsman level 2 and 3 copies of Mystic Swordsman level 4. This is just absurd, and Robert is going to actually just shit when he sees that we got this, but you know, it's not Armed Dragon level 7 or anything like that, but this card's still pretty good. It basically is going to nullify any defensive threat he has, which is going to make it very difficult for him to mount any sort of comeback. We also have 2 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke for face-up defenders, just a slightly worse Mystic Swordsman level 4, but honestly, that's still pretty good. And then we have some defenders. We have 2 Charcoal Inpachi, which is a 2100 defender, and 3 Skull Dog Marin, which is a 2k defender. Now, I want to have these in here because of some of our trap lineup, which we'll discuss momentarily. For the spells, we have a Hammer Shot as our pretty much only piece of removal, if I'm being honest. We have 3 copies of Level Up. I want to get to Armed Dragon level 5 as quick as humanly possible, and so we are playing this to help us facilitate that. It also is pretty good if we level up 2 into 4 or go Dark Mimic level 1 into level 3. Like, there's other applications for this card as well that could be relevant, but I want to get to Armed Dragon level 5 as fast as humanly possible, so I don't care maxing out on this. And in that same line of thinking, I'm also playing 2 copies of the Graveyard in the 4th Dimension. Now, this card reads, add 2 level monsters from your graveyard to your deck and shuffle it. This card is so good. I think this is going to be the way that we win this game, that if Robert is able to deal with both of them, I want ways to recycle them. So I could shuffle them back into the deck, get another Armed Dragon level 3 out, and we can just go again. So the fact that I have access to 4 copies of Armed Dragon level 5 essentially because of this card. I think that is 100% worth it. Not to mention, we could shuffle back any of our other cards as well, and this also gives us a hedge against mill if that becomes like a sort of stall out strategy. I think the game may not be able to play out that long, but I just think getting more copies of Armed Dragon level 5 is going to be the ticket to victory. And then we have the traps. 3 copies of Absolute End, which will force all of Robert's attacks into direct attacks. This is good if we want to make sure an Armed Dragon level 3 will level up on our following turn, or to give us tribute fodder for anything else. I think this card is actually not that bad. 1 Spirit Barrier to make sure we don't take battle damage while we control a monster, which is actually just huge. And then 3 copies of Taunt. So Taunt allows us to redirect attacks for a turn. If we have a Charcoal Apache or a Skulldog Marin up, and we run out an Armed Dragon level 3, we can taunt one of these up, so Robert is forced to attack it. Armed Dragon level 3 upgrades into level 5, and we'll probably be able to take over the game from there. So I think these traps are actually a great way to protect our monsters, so that way we can get our bigger win condition online. The side deck, I gotta be honest, there wasn't really too much going on here. I am playing 2 Enraged Mukamuka. This is a way to actually out Armed Dragon level 5 because this can get bigger if we have 4 cards in hand. That gives it 1600 attack. So I figure if Robert has a similar strategy, then we may want to side deck copies of this, because in that way, if we can protect one of our defenders, we'll be able to then bring out Enraged Mukamuka with nearly a full hand and hit over Armed Dragon level 5 ideally. 3 copies of Malistal of Demise with the Ecto Plasma. I kind of want to side this in games 2 and 3 to see if this works, because if Robert has no way to kill us, like, this might just be the way we can kill him very quickly. It doesn't matter what he has on the field. I am playing a Nobleman Eater Bug. It is a bit weak to some things, but being able to pop 2 monsters, it's one of the best pieces of removal we actually have in the set. So I figure having one of it isn't the end of the world. I kind of want to side more, to be honest, but it does lose pretty hard to a lot of things like Gorgon's Eye and Mystic Swordsman. So not necessarily the best, but it's okay. 3 Ultimate Baseball Kit if we want to actually get a sizable threat, especially with Mass Dragon and Charcoal and Apache. This can get pretty large. Just having 2 monsters, it can actually hit over an Armed Dragon level 5, so that's not bad. 3 Gorgon's Eye. It's a trap that reads until the end of this turn. All effects of defense position monsters are negated, so this is a way to stop the flip effect monsters like Nobleman Eater Bug and the like. You can also stop stuff like Dark Mimics as well, so I think there is a place for this card depending on what Robert's strategy is. This card's okay. I also love the artwork on this. And then 2 copies of Mind Crush. Honestly, I didn't know what else to play, and Mind Crush seems like it could be okay, but there's never really an opportunity where we know what's in the other player's hand unless like we're specifically playing like Mind on Air or just some garbage like that. So I cited a couple Mind Crushes. Maybe it can come up in niche situations. We'll see. I mean, I'm pretty confident in the main deck and the rest of the side, so I figure just having a situational card may not be the worst. But guys, I cannot wait to see what Robert brought to the table today. This is going to be a pretty fun one, especially because we got some Armed Dragon action going. Oh man, this is going to be a blast. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel. Robert, I gotta be honest. I was discussing this with you prior to us hopping in this call, but I don't think Soul of the Duelist is as bad as we were thinking it's going to be. It doesn't help that like a third of the cards are just actually unplayable, but yes. I think there are some synergies. There's a bit of strategy depending on what your pulls were. I think there's a little bit of depth here. Maybe not as good as some of our other episodes, but maybe I'll be surprised. Who knows?
I'm actually kind of excited for some of the strategies that I put together for this. I can't imagine they're not things you didn't encounter when you were deck building.
Why do you say that, buddy? Why do you say that, buddy?
Considering our card pool is about as wide as Iceland's gene pool, I expect we're going to encounter many of the same cards between each other's decks. And if you got certain ratios of a few cards, I may be in a little bit of trouble.
Right. I mean, to be fair, that's all sealed Showdown, though. And to also be fair, I think when you look at everything in the aggregate, I was explaining to our viewers in the beginning, actually, why these sets only have 60 cards. And it's because this is when like the TCG and the OCG were like actually merging into one entity. So as a result, we just have less cards to work with. But I still think in the spirit of the series, this one's not going to be too bad. You ready, buddy?
I think it's going to be a good time. Let's get started.
All right, let's get into it. So let's see. Ooh,
begins.
Okay. All right.
Hey, all right. Okay.
Looks like you're going to be leading us off. Good luck, sir. Going first has a very strong advantage in this series, as we know. Let's see what you got.
Indeed. Good luck and have fun, my friend.
You already made the biggest mistake. You have no extra deck.
What? Oh my God. A crucial error that I've made here. I'm going to draw.
Wait till I drop Master of Oz on your ass.
Oh, it's going to be terrible, Alex. I am going to begin my turn by normal summoning a masked dragon.
Yep. Yep, this card is very good. Also, being mindful to place it in attack position because there are cards that just wreck this card in defense position.
Absolutely. Although there is one very particular card that causes me real trouble if I place it in attack position. I'm hoping you didn't get that line to start off.
We'll go ahead and draw. How do I want to do this? There's a couple ways I could go.
Goofed. Well, Alex, as payback for a couple of the take-backsies we've had in this series already, I'm actually going to take that back. There is no reason for me to set that card right now.
Fair. Okay. That's understandable. That's understandable. I guess I'll allow it. You know, I have made my fair share
so
of errors
magnanimous
season,
of you.
Yeah, thank you. I will go ahead and I'm going to set one and I'm going to set one and throw it over to you.
Ooh, and a truly riveting start. Okay, Alex.
It is the Sealed Showdown Classic at this point.
It is the Sealed Showdown Classic, and Alec, I think it's time for me to punish your face down card. Normal summon my Mystic Swordsman level 2. Show me if your back row is something real.
It is absolute end.
I had the feeling that was coming.
Would you like to attack me directly, sir?
I will indeed attack directly.
Okay, so I'm going to take 9 and then 14.
Yep.
I actually think this card's pretty cool. Like, this is a card we're probably not going to see, like, too often in Sealed Showdown, but, like, this is actually playable. It protects your monster at the cost of life points. You know, it's not bad.
It effectively turns your monsters into Strike Ninja for a turn. So I'm gonna let you go.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and draw for turn here. In the main phase 1, I'm going to flip my Dark Mimic level 1 and draw myself a card.
Yep.
And Robert, you fool, I sacrifice Dark Mimic level 1 for Arm Dragon level 5!
Ooh, he's a good one.
This card is so good. This is like probably the best card in the set, I think, depending on what your polls were. I think this card is incredible. And with that said, I do need to go ahead and use the effect here because I don't want you getting that Masked Dragon trigger because it does have to be killed in battle. So the question is, what am I going to pitch to actually deal with it? I think, there's some tough decisions. I think, God, why can't it just be pitch a monster? Why does it have to have this like condition?
I know,
it's
real irritating.
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place on the decision here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of, and this is going to give away something big that I pulled, Mystic Swordsman level 4.
Ooh, that is something big.
And we're going to take out the Masked Dragon.
Okay, yep, that's what I expected. There he goes.
And then we'll go to battle, and we will hit for 1,300 here.
I will take
1,500 actually, excuse me.
Yeah, and there he goes.
Wrong way. Now, second main, don't got much else going on, so I think I'm going to go to my end phase and Robert.
Oh, you got it!
Are you ready?
Oh, the boy is coming.
My turn. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I can't believe I actually, if I pulled it, could have actually gotten an Arm Dragon level 7 on the field. So frustrating.
You could have right then. Oh, this is awkward.
This sucks, right? Because now you can't play stuff in attack position because my Arm Dragon can just kill it off. You also can't set because with Mystic Swordsman being a rare, it's pretty likely that we got it. So you're just like, really, it's like pick your poison, right, buddy?
Yeah. Can you get lethal next turn? I know that you didn't tag into the level 7. Which would probably be my biggest problem here.
You're lucky I didn't get level 10.
Hold up.
No, it's not even in the set.
Not even in this set.
That's from like Duelist Pack Chaz or something.
Yeah, definitely not here, De Fortuna. What am I going to do in the face of this? You basically
this is tough.
Because that's the thing about this set. It is absolutely a tempo game from start to finish. And you basically got the combo that immediately won you on tempo there. You would have to have a lot of monsters available to you to beat me next turn. So I'm going to have to end my turn right here.
All right, we'll see how that works for you, buddy. I'll go to main phase 1. Got a chance to put you on a pretty good clock here.
You do.
You know what? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, buddy.
Okay.
If one Armed Dragon level 5 wasn't enough for you to deal with, how about a second one lingering in wait? Let's go to battle.
Okay, I'll take my 1,200 and my 20.
36 total. I think I'm good to just pass. Go ahead.
That's a pretty good way to go. Okay, yeah, I gotta make sure that doesn't happen. I am going to normal summon Malistal of Demise.
You are not on this. Oh my god. This means one thing, and oh god.
I mean, what it means is that this card is the biggest beater short of Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke.
Fair. The best common in the set, but there are some synergies with this that make me a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
I am going to attack into your Arm Dragon.
All right, so this does prevent me from getting another one. I will take the 400, and my Arm Dragon level 3 will fall.
And the main phase 2, I'm going to set a back row, and it is your go.
Looks like you got that back row right on time, buddy. So hopefully it is good enough. Well, let's see where we're at right now. I can do 800 to put you down to 21. That doesn't kill you, but it does put you in lethal range. So the question then becomes, can I lethal you if I use the effect of my arm dragon? Your back row could also nullify this entire plan because obviously cards like Absolute End exist. I think that may be the best card in this scenario. Taunt does literally nothing, I think, because I'm pretty sure Taunt is only your monsters. If it's not, I think that that's just magical.
Yeah, the trap cards that exist in this set include Taunt, Spirit Barrier, Absolute End, and Hallowed Life Barrier.
Interesting. Let's see. How do we best play around this? You haven't been doing a whole lot. Well, if it's Absolute End, I just win the game automatically because I can just attack you directly. So
no, buddy, that's not true.
I feel like in that case, like none of this matters. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna use the effect. I'm gonna pitch another Arm Dragon level 5 and pop your Malistal of Demise.
And there it goes.
And I will bring out, who do we feel like running out? I guess we'll go for another Arm Dragon level 3.
And it is all you, Boo.
All right,
what a
game one.
brick.
I was about to say, that was just a beating.
Oh, that was the mother of all bricks, Alex. And I mean, it doesn't help that Absolute End with a face-down monster is basically the end of the game in this format.
I mean, if I have the Armed Dragon 5, then yes. But yeah, effectively, because, I mean, and especially too, because it was a Dark Mimic. I mean, I got to get value off of the set as well. Like, that was maybe the best case scenario I could have asked for.
It was not good for me, I'll give you that. And I am going to try again by going first.
Telling you, it's because you didn't put anything in your extra deck. Good luck, buddy.
That really was my biggest mistake. I am going to draw for turn. I am going to set a monster and a back row, and I'm going to end my turn.
Okay, we will go ahead and draw. Head on into main one. I like your play so much, I think I'm going to reciprocate. So the T set, and over to you.
That sounds like not a terrible move, Alex. I am going to draw for turn. Let's see. What do I want to do with this?
This is where you reciprocate with the Arm Dragon level 5 off your Dark Mimic level 1.
That would, that would be a play. You set a monster.
You know it's just Absolute End again, so there's no point in it.
There is a very good chance that it is just Absolute End again.
Could be. Considering it's like one of 3 playable traps in the format, I think so.
Okay, I think my starting move is always going to be Flip Summon Dark Mimic level 1 here.
Get the draw.
I am going to get a draw. Oh, that complicates things, though.
This does put me in a bit of an awkward spot where I want to apply pressure because if I don't kill this Dark Mimic level 1 and you have a level 3, then it gets nasty because then you're going to be drawing more cards. So... interesting little dynamic. I do love that this set does just have Dekoichi, though. That's fun.
It does just have Dekoichi. I mean, it has Dekoichi without all the value that you get out of
basically,
Dekoichi.
Yeah. It's what Dekoichi, it's the Dekoichi wannabe, right?
It is, it is aspiring to be Dekoichi. I just got a card, Alex.
Okay.
That changes my mindset around my next move.
Okay. I thought you were going to regret flipping the Dark Mimic first.
I don't think I am going to regret that. I think the play is going to be that I am going to normal summon my Arm Dragon.
There it is, the boy. That's fine.
It's him. I'm going to go into battle phase and show me an Absolute End of your own.
I will not. I will show you Charcoal Inpachi, ultimate rare Charcoal Inpachi.
Ultimate rare. The premium Charcoal. Premium.
He has 100 extra defense points, but that's not enough to withstand your Arm Dragon level 5, unfortunately.
That is true. I think the move is to end my turn here and lose my Arm Dragon to a hammer shot.
You will draw. I think I'm just going to go ahead and set one and pass it over.
Okay, Alex. I'm going to draw for turn. That is less than ideal. Oh, I'm a dumbass. Okay.
Do you have the Arm Dragon level 7, Robert? You forgot to use it in end phase?
I will confirm nor deny any information that you
that's a yes. Go ahead.
Here. I am going to normal summon Arm Dragon level 3.
This looks very familiar.
Yep. We've been through this before, Alex. I'm going to go into battle phase. I'm going to attack into your face down.
It is a non-ultimate rare Charcoal Inpachi.
A less optimal Charcoal Inpachi.
And I'll take the 12
and I am going to deal the 1200. Oh, I would be such good shape if I had. So my guess is either you don't have any monsters to tribute summon, or that isn't absolute end that you have face down.
Logical
Main
assessment.
Phase 2, I am going to set a back row and end my turn.
We'll draw. Jesus Christ. Main 1. Nothing in end phase, buddy?
I am choosing not to activate any effects during end phase, and I will neither confirm nor deny whether I had the ability.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you're holding out for game 3 if we get to that point. Okay, that's fair. I suppose I will set, and I'll throw it over to you.
Okay, I am going to draw for turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating. Okay, main phase 1. Oh, during the standby phase, because I am not a dingus.
Yeah, you might want to get that Arm Dragon level 5.
I am going to send my level 3 to get myself another level 5.
Okay, so I know you have 2 level 5s now as well.
You do know that. Let me see. I am going to trot out a Howling Insect.
Interesting. Okay, sure.
And I'm going to go into battle phase, and I'm going to attempt to attack into your face down monster.
My Dark Mimic level 1. I'll get a draw.
Draw your card, buddy. I'm going to attack directly.
I'll take 36 from the 2.
I am going to attack directly.
Mm-hmm.
You did already take the damage, and I'm gonna end my turn.
Yep, this is how these games are going. Unfortunately, we'll go to main phase 1.
Yep.
Oh, what are we going to do? I suppose I will set and pass. Go ahead.
Okay, buddy. We're about to see if we're going to game 2.
We're gonna find out.
I thought this was going to be really fun. We were going to be summoning monsters right and left. Nope, it is really just summon level 5 and win the game.
Basically, it's a very hard card to out in this set.
I am going to go to main phase 1. I'm gonna normal summon Malice of Demise, Doll of Demise, because there are no board wipes in this set, and I'm gonna attack into your face down monster.
Is a masked dragon.
Okay.
So we do get to make some stuff happen here.
Into the deck.
Yep, I do get to special summon a dragon monster, and the position actually does not matter, so I can wall up and go in defense.
Okay. I am going to attack in with my Howling Insect.
Okay, another one down. Let's go get yet another masked dragon, which I imagine will not be long for this earth.
It will not be, because I will attack into it with Malice Doll.
And that will be another trigger, and I think, let's see. I have to put this face up. You can pop it. Well, I mean, I can force you to pop it. So let's see.
Alex, I have another attack left.
Oh, you do have another attack. Okay. Well, you don't even have to pop it then. That's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, in that case,
attack.
hold on. You got your take back. You got your take back.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna take this.
That
back.
is
Yeah.
absolutely fair.
I completely
understand
forgot you have. I'm like,
that.
oh yeah, he can just use the effect here if he wants. Okay. I will actually run out a element dragon in that case.
Okay, and then I will run over the Element Dragon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Main phase 2. I'm deciding there is one card in this set that I am generally absolutely terrified of, and I don't think there's a possibility that you can go into it. You have 5 cards in hand. There's no shot that you're going to be able to summon a monster to be able to Monarch out something. I'm going to end my turn with that.
All right. We'll go ahead and draw. Main 1. Do anything? Don't think so. You got it, buddy. We'll go to game 3.
Okay, buddy.
You know, Robert, you could chalk this up to saying whoever goes first wins with the Armed Dragon level 5, but in all fairness, you went first in game 1, and I was able to stop you with that absolute end. So that just meant I was able to get to my Armed Dragon level 5 first, which is maybe what this set's evolved
that's
into.
really what it's about. Yeah.
Maybe if we have a game where neither of us have it, then maybe we'll have some back and forth. But we'll see. We'll see. I will get to go first for the first time this time. Good luck, sir.
Good luck to you too.
And we will go ahead and start by drawing for turn. I will go ahead and set, and I'm going to set 2 cards, actually. Throw it over to you.
Ooh. Getting fancy. I am going to trot out ya boy Howling Insect.
He's back, sure.
I'm going to go into the battle phase, and I'm going to swing into whatever you got face down.
It is a Dark Mimic level 1, so I'll take the draw.
Glad I did that. Okay. Main phase 2, I am going to set 2 back row and end my turn.
You also setting 2 back row. That's interesting. All right, we'll draw. There's some interesting things we can do now. Oh,
how's it going, buddy?
I have a play. Not sure how I feel about it, I'll be honest.
Okay.
It's very funny. You know what? It's actually not bad. I may think this might be the ticket to victory.
I don't like that.
What are the potential punishes? I don't know if there is one, to be honest. All right, I'm ready to give this a shot. This is going to be, oh God, this is going to be a disaster.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to hammer shot your howling insect.
Sure.
You're probably shocked to see this, right? So we'll just go and run in for 16.
Oh, no way. Oh, I know exactly what's coming, and I am so mad about it.
What's coming, buddy? I'll activate Ectoplasm.
Oh, God. Yep, it's happening.
And during my end phase, I will use the effect of the Ectoplasmer to tribute my Malistal of Demise, so you will take 800 points of damage.
Points of damage.
I'll actually set another card, too, before I do that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let the games begin, buddy.
Okay, let's see what I'm going to do about this. I am actually going to just set a monster, I guess, and it is your turn.
It does potentially work. I'll go to my standby phase, and during the standby phase, since my Malistal of Demise was sent to the graveyard by a continuous spell, I get to resurrect him to my field. Pretty good.
There he is. Yep.
He is back. He is back. Okay, now what could you possibly have set? Could be another howling insect. There's several things, I guess. You know what? Let's start the party. Let's bring out this armed dragon level 3.
Okie dokie.
And let's go to battle. We'll see if we can hit over this. I doubt it, but let's see.
It is a charcoal in patchy.
There he is. So I will take 500 from that. I will just go immediately to the end phase, trigger my Ectoplasm, and you will take another 800 points of damage.
I will take 800.
You have a 7-turn clock, my friend, and the thing that I love is that, like, it's so hard for you to deal with this card. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. I'll throw it over.
Draw for turn. Okay.
Never thought I'd be using this card, but you know what? It wouldn't be Shield Showdown if we were using the jank of the jank.
You got that right. Okay, I am going to go to main phase 1, and I am going to normal summon Masked Dragon.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to go into battle phase, and I'm going to swing into your Armed Dragon level 3.
I will go ahead and absolute end here.
That's not good for me. I'm going to attack directly then.
I will also use Spirit Barrier while we're at it.
Oh, you got the combo.
I did have the combo. So not only can your Masked Dragon not attack my Armed Dragon level 3, but because I control said Armed Dragon level 3, you cannot inflict any battle damage to me. Talk about playground staples, buddy. Oh, man.
Yep. And I am going to the end phase, and you can take 50, buddy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, pal. You're lovely. You want to get rid of that Masked Dragon? I think that might be good for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely the good play.
All right, we'll go to standby. My Armed Dragon will evolve here into an Armed Dragon level 5.
Uh-huh.
So we'll bring him out. Now, I do obviously still have to deal... and I'm sorry, the Malistal of Demise returns during the standby phase. So
true. I
do obviously have to deal with this Masked Dragon. And thankfully, I drew another Malistal of Demise, so I can pop it.
Yep.
We'll go to battle. This is 4K to the dome.
I will take 4,000.
And, buddy, I hate to tell you, in
That's
the end phase,
I
tribute my Malistal of Demise for the final 800 damage. Holy shit.
God, that was awful.
Oh,
Alex,
my God.
you and I were on the exact same decks, like almost item for item. And
Really?
you just saw the cards you needed to, and I did not.
Well, you know, that's still Showdown for you. It's funny because we both had like Dark Mimics and stuff too to help the draw a bit. I had 3 Dark Mimic level 1s and 2 Dark Mimic level 3s. I don't know about you.
I actually only sided the Dark Mimics because I wanted to see how you played the tempo game 1 before I started setting them. So I had 3 Dark Mimic level 1 and 1 Dark Mimic level 3 because I figured the chances I was going to try to use the level 1's effect to get into level 3 were pretty low, and level 3 is also a very vulnerable card compared to level 1.
Absolutely. And I got to be honest, I actually sided into the Ectoplasm or Malistal of Demise because I realized after game 2 that if Ectoplasmer's up before you start getting the train of monsters going, you can never keep a monster. And we're just so short on removal this set. I only had 1 hammer shot. So I figured
only had 1 hammer shot.
Okay, that's interesting. So I figure that, okay, this is like kind of like hammer shot every turn. And as long as I have Malistal of Demise, this combo is just like almost unbeatable at that point.
That was exactly my logic. And I ran two Ectoplasmer and 3 Malice Malistal of Demise. Oh, buddy, you have no idea the hollows I got.
Okay.
Because
did you get the level 7?
You are absolutely right. I, in fact, drew into level 7. I was so convinced that you were going to absolute end me that my brain didn't even register that I'd destroyed a monster and could summon the level 7, which I then drew into the next turn. And I was like,
no.
you know, I would rather keep this in my hand and get to use it for level 5's effect in case you summon like a Horus level 6.
Right. I was worried about you getting Horus as well, which I think Armed Dragon is just strictly better. But
Armed Dragon is simply better under one circumstance, and that one circumstance is that your opponent doesn't get Horus level 8.
Oh my god!
And
you
buddy,
got all of it.
The hits don't end. I got 2 Mobius.
What?
And guess how many of these I saw this entire match?
0!
I saw Ectoplasm game 2, and I was like, okay, what is the scenario where I just get to, like, summon Armed Dragon level 7, attack you for 28, and have done, like, a total of 45? They were the same scenarios in which I just attacked with all of my monsters and won the game, so it just, like, never came up. Yeah, I got so many ridiculous hollows, and then I got 1 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, 2 Mystic Swordsman level 2s, and then a grand total of 3 2000 Defenders, and I was like, my common and rare luck continues to plague me.
Oh my god. I actually didn't realize till I read it again that Ectoplasm affects both players. I thought it was purely just you, which I mean, you know, so historically, typically, like that's how people use it. But wow, I mean that
so ended the actual God combo, God combo is level 6 plus Ectoplasm. But once again, never drew into the level 6.
Yeah, that is a way you could have disabled. I can't believe you had Mobius as well. So buddy, you got me beat on the polls because I pulled 3 Mystic Swordsman level 4s, which was nice, but you know, not fantastic. You know, yeah, that might be the highlight of my polls, if I'm being honest. I'm looking at the rest of my deck, and it's purely all commons and rares.
My common...
Were you playing the level up?
I was playing level up, yeah. Because, Alex, I told myself at the beginning when I was doing my deck profile that my entire goal for this series, or like for this match, was for me to summon Horus level 8. And I was like, I am giving myself every chance to do that.
It's funny you say that, because depending on when this episode goes up, there may be a History of Jank episode with Horus in the future. I don't want to spoil anything, though. So maybe Horus level 8 will make its way to the field there. But yeah, again, I'm looking at my polls. I got just nothing else of value. I mean, I got 3 of all like the good cards. I got 2 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, which is not bad, but like we're typically not really on monsters. I actually, no joke, sided into Noble Man-Eater Bug because I thought about it, and if there was a scenario where you had like maybe not 4 monsters, but let's say you had 2 or 3, and you actually have to hit into this. Like let's say I at the end of a Master Dragon Chain, I was able to tribute, and you didn't have Mystic Swords in level 4. I could actually pop both of your guys. So it's bad, but at the same time, I think you have very little outs to something like this. If it doesn't get steamrolling, you know, way ahead of time. If I can set it up in time, I think this card actually wasn't that bad. And
ironically, that is an out for the Ectoplasm combo, kind of. It at least gets your opponent off their tempo. What it really is an out for Enraged Mukamuka.
I was playing, which I realized that I had that.
I had that in the main deck because I was like, if you get that and I only have the 1 hammer shot, even discarding Horus level 8 off of Armed level 5 doesn't get me over Enraged Mukamuka.
Which is hysterical. I mean, I need to have a full grip for that to be the case. I was also on, I don't know if you were on this, I was on Graveyard in the 4th dimension because I only pulled 2 copies of Armed Dragon level 5. So my theory with this was if we're actually going long, having this to put some level 5s back in my deck so 3s have targets, because of how impactful this card is, I actually didn't think this card was too bad. I ended up like bricking drawing it last game, but I had it this time. So if like you were to somehow out this Armed Dragon level 5, I could have just shuffled it back and hopefully gotten another one.
Yeah, I considered it, but I thought like basically I knew these games were going to go quickly. Like there was no shot that one of us wasn't going to get steamrolling with either the Malistal Ectoplasm loop or like the Armed Dragon level 5 or something like that. And I was like, by the time this card becomes relevant to me, I should have already won the game because I did get 3 Armed Dragon level 5. Actually, that's a lie. I got like 10 Armed Dragon level 5.
Yeah, I only got 2, so I was kind of fuming about that. So I figure 1 copy of it. I think I was actually mating 2 at first, but then I realized that game 2 that having multiple of this wasn't very good. So I think I sided rounded it out just down to 1. Because, I mean, again, as long as there's a way, like if there's a scenario where you get absolute end and you're able to protect a level 3, level 5 can turn the whole game around.
Absolutely. And that brings up the real question. How many absolute end did you get?
I got 3.
Yep, I got 2.
Okay. I mean,
I was like, I saw that.
Especially because,
yeah.
that may be
I
the
was
best
like,
back row
this
we
card
have.
wins the game on its own. Like,
Yeah.
Taunt is pretty good, but it's only good if you are already ahead. I used the other art, and
This is
I
the
also
actual TCG
had the
art.
Spirit Barrier combo.
Oh my god. It's so good. It's so good.
It's really good, but if this set really was about who drew the tempo cards first.
I think so.
And that's what ultimately took it. And whether or not I got to summon the arm dragon, I failed both aspects. I was like, I'm okay losing the match if I get to summon arm dragon level 7.
I do respect you for not showing it though when you were already winning, because you could have just been bluffing me the whole time. And so then maybe it wasn't as big of a priority for me to kill it if I had the option to. But that's where that play was so nerve-wracking, hammer-shotting your Howling Insect, because it's like, shit, if this Ectoplasm play doesn't work, this is going to backfire hard. And thankfully it didn't. But
and I was fiending for a Mobius. If I got a Mobius,
absolutely.
I was immediately back in that game.
You were back in it 100%. I was really hoping with Taunt, the theory was with this is that if you get an Arm Dragon level 3 plus a Defender, hopefully with no Mystic Swordsman out, then it actually buys you a turn to be able to get this out as a level 5. So I figure anything that made getting to level 5 easier was worth playing in my deck. And so that was kind of the mentality.
That was exactly my mindset too. So it sounds, like I said, we had exactly the same deck, which I have the feeling is going to be more and more true as time goes on.
I think
Except,
so, to be
Alex,
fair.
next episode.
Yeah, I was about to say, not next episode, but once we get to some of the other GX, well, not technically in GX, but, people consider like Rise of Destiny, Flaming Eternity, like almost GX era. And when we get to those sets in particular, I think there's more playable cards in those sets than there are in Soul of the Duelist specifically. So yes, you're going to see a lot of stuff that's mirrored, but I think there's still going to be a little bit of diverging strategy. But next episode, Robert. Oh,
it's a good one, Alex.
You and I have been waiting for this since we started the series. Dark Beginning 1. Honestly, any of the broken reprint sets. This set takes some of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And throws them in at incredibly low rarities.
Common and rare,
Yep, common and rare. And that means you are going to be seeing like, I think Confiscation's like common, isn't it? Or something like that. Right, so you are going to be seeing just an absolute shit show in the next episode. There's going to be banned cards flying around left and right. The power scale is going to be off the charts. I am so excited.
I'm so excited, Alex.
And I'm so excited because I'm at 3 in a row, baby. Let's go.
You got the 3, Pete. Yep.
I did. Off the back of Arm Dragon level 5. What a house.
Really, let's be clear, off the end of back of Absolute End.
I think Absolute End may be the second best card in the set after Arm Dragon level 5. Because you can't kill them with Absolute End, but you can kill them with Arm Dragon level 5.
Yep, that's fair.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Sealed Showdown. Be sure to tune in next week because you are not going to want to miss it. It is going to be a bloodbath. But we have to shout the patrons, so big shout to Shout1317, Moto, Sean Olling Jr., Cameron Smith, and Gayoko, Tim00x3, Ika Ironfang, Pody Starkey, and Musa, Michael Dente, Part 2, Dan the Man Hoban, Synchro Guy, Ole, Mystic Walk, Sylvia Wild, Strayconic, Rockslide, Dollywop, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Thomas Nelson, Cole T, Jordan Coons, Kaylin Iron Blazeman, Pure Ace, Jesse Wood, True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Hood, Lumpy, Nehru Celeste, David Liu, Rockley325, Yusuf Ason05, Blaine Rogers, Chat God, Sound Agent 216, I Side and Gren Maju and Salad, Sky Rose, Dylan Hunter, Brett Harvey, John Tubase, Apathy Asher, Brody Eastwood, Dazer, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Give Me Speedroid or Give Me Death, MBT's Hard Leg, Asling Jensen, Cypher Peon, Perp6, TC Gaming, Matthew Brady, Edison Format, Ash Blossom Toe Sniffer, that's a brand new one, Dr. Solace, Max Mercero, and Tom Russell. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.